Thank you for coming and joining us as we launch this beautiful exhibit about the faces of DACA and DAPA. DAPA stands for Deferred Action for Parent Accountability, and DACA stands for Deferred Action for Childhood Arrival. Currently an executive order that's being held at the Supreme Court. They're debating people's lives, and what we wanted to do today is uplift the stories and the people that this debate is taking place. And so we wanted to bring the humanity, and we wanted to bring the people who are directly affected by this conversation, as we're gonna have the first oral arguments in the Supreme Court on Monday. And before we start with the speakers and everyone who's here supporting us and the immigrant community, not only in Brooklyn, but of New York and all of the United States, I wanna thank everyone who's here to help us out. So special thanks to the Speaker of the City Council, Melissa Margarito, and Xiaoming Xia, who's here representing as a community liaison. The Office of the Comptroller, Scott Stringer, and Ada Chileno, who's here with us, and everyone else who will be speaking today. And it is my pleasure to introduce Brooklyn President Eric L. Adams, who is the sponsor, and I want you to give him a huge applause because he's supporting this great idea and highlighting the stories of immigrant folks who live in Brooklyn. So give it up for Eric.
Thank you. Cannot say enough about Make the Road and their vision. These banners that are behind us are truly a reflection of how much they understood this topic. But I also want to really make it clear to so many of what my deputy Diana Reyna, the first Dominican American to be elected to office here in the city, and Menchaca, first Mexican American to be elected here in New York City as a council person, Antonio Reynoso. It was so touching and impactful when I was at his inauguration and looking in the audience and seeing his mother, who did not speak fluent English, but her heart was fluent in her compassion and love for America. And that's the story that DACA and DAPA is about. It's about people who really believe and are holding on to the American dream. We should not be a country that divides and splits up families merely because of the technical sense of what happened or did not happen. The Supreme Court must reach into their compassionate souls and understand that we're not only talking about items or letters written on a piece of paper. We're talking about lives. We're talking about families staying together. We're talking about sending a symbol across the entire globe as the globe wrestles with what to do with the refugee crisis, that babies and children are being left and abandoned on seashores. America cannot join that conversation by throwing out those who are here in America, particularly the children. They should have an opportunity to follow the same legacy that countless numbers of immigrants from all across the globe have come here and participated in the American dream. Not to allow DACA and DAPA would turn that dream into a nightmare, and that should not happen in this country we call America. That's what this is about. And I think the words from Edwin from Ecuador in 2001 to the United States, I want to just read what he says. DAPA would not just benefit me, but would benefit other undocumented people. I would be able to stay next to my son, that is a U.S. citizen. I also will be able to have a job legally and keep contributing to this country. So think about it. A child is born here. He's naturalized. His parents may not be a naturalized or a documented citizen. Do we separate that family? I say no to that. This is what America's dream is about, never to separate a family. Allow these individuals who want to be part of the American dream and whose faces are representative of those throughout America, each person here has a story behind it. Each person here is no different than any of us. The decency that is deserving and the respect that is deserving of a person who wants to be part of the American dream should continue. We should continue that, and that is why it's imperative that the Supreme Court makes the right decision and do the right thing to take the country in the right direction and open up and allow all to be part that are here of the American dream. I want to thank you for what you have done. Let's keep moving this forward. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you again, and I want to invite to the mic a council member that was highlighted just before, who is the first Mexican elected to the city council, and it's a lot of our youth, actually, some folks who also benefit from DACA, some folks who are here, helped run the campaign for him to get elected, and this is why it's important to get involved in local politics and elect your folks so that you have people who are going to back up the issues that matter the most to us. And so it's my pleasure to introduce Council Member Carlos Menchaca.
Gracias, Natalia. Buenos días.
Buenos días.
The sun is out, and so is our hope in the faces that we see behind us. And I'm just so proud to be here with my council colleague, Antonio Reynoso from the north. I am the council member from the south, and together we're brothers in this mission. And we have an incredible partner with the Borough President that always invites us here to the People's House in Brooklyn and continues to send messages of hope with his Deputy Borough President, our good sister, Diana Reyna. And together with Make the Road and all the people behind us, we continue to send this message. And Natalia said this in the beginning, this word, humanity. Our future is brighter when we bring more humanity to the table. Our future is clear in the things that we need to do with the Supreme Court and Congress, and even in the City Council, and the questions that we have before us on the legislative and budget decisions. More humanity brings better decisions. I want to read really quick, Celedonia, las mujeres, por favor, adelante. Celedonia is originally from Atlisco, Puebla, and came to the United States in 2003. She has 5 children. 2 of them are US citizens, and 3 are undocumented. She says, DAPA would protect me against deportation. I would be able to go visit my mom in Mexico, which I haven't seen in years. Also, I would be able to have a good job that is well paid. These are the stories that we all connect to. This is the story of my mother and her mother as they continued, and I grew up in Texas, in La Frontera, in Texas, Tejano or El Paso. And this is the story that continues to plague us. This is because our laws are broken and they have the opportunity to change. Y les quiero decir también, el corazón lleno de esperanza cambia las leyes de esta nación, así y no más así podemos cambiar el sentimiento de la nación. Y ahora vamos a tener algo más tarde aquí en Brooklyn, y les queremos mandar ese mensaje, que la victoria de los inmigrantes es la victoria de la nación en total. Muchas gracias.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Carlos Menchaca. Muchas gracias a Carlos Menchaca. Quiero decir unas palabras en español y quiero agradecerle a todo el mundo que está acá. Estamos acá porque estamos celebrando la vida y la humanidad de las personas inmigrantes y las personas que están en este momento esperando que DACA y DAPA sea liberado por la Corte Suprema. Y ahorita vamos a escuchar un testimonio de la comunidad. Voy a hablar brevemente en inglés y vamos a escuchar el testimonio de una persona directamente afectada. So thank you. We're about to listen to the testimony of someone who's directly affected, and she's going to be saying it in Spanish, and I will be helping to translate into English. So I want to call to the mic Magdalena Brito.
Buenos días. Mi nombre es Magdalena Brito. Soy miembro del Comité de los Derechos Civiles y Poder de los Inmigrantes de Michael Ross. Soy de Ecuador. Tengo en este 13 años sin los documentos. Desde entonces estoy muy preocupada, con miedo de que la inmigración pueda deportarme y el sueño americano se acaba. Vivo con mi hija y nietas. Y si llegaran a deportarme, eso me causa muchísima tristeza y miedo. Mis nietas tienen la edad de 15 y 17 años. Mi más grande preocupación es ser separada de ellas y el resto de mi familia. Yo estuve muy contenta del anuncio del presidente Obama, la orden ejecutiva. Cuando se implementaba, nos sacaría un poco de la sombra que vivimos, ya que beneficiaría a millones de personas sin documentos. Me ayudaría a vivir sin el miedo que tengo hoy en día. Estamos aquí hoy para decir, estamos listos para aplicar para ese programa. Estamos listos para poder solicitar un permiso de trabajo con un seguro social para trabajar con derecho y dignidad. Ya estamos aportando a la economía de este país, donde hemos trabajado fuertemente, y estamos listos a seguir aportando más y viviendo aquí en paz con nuestras familias. Ya estamos cansados de las trabas que están poniendo la gente en nuestra contra, con su demanda legal que al final vamos a vencer. Mientras tanto, no lo vamos a dejar pasar. No nos vamos a parar. Yo y miles más estamos preparándonos para aplicar, y se hace camino a Nueva York. También estamos listos para ayudar a miles de personas a aplicar y a seguir peleando con todos por una reforma migratoria que nos dé un camino a la ciudadanía. Gracias.
Dame el testimonio.
Muchas gracias.
So I'm interpreting for Magdalena. Good morning, my name is Magdalena Brito. I'm a member of the Committee of Civil Rights and Immigrant Power of Make the Road, New York. I have been 13 years without documents in this country, and I'm very worried that immigration can deport me back and my American dream will be over. I live with my daughter and my granddaughters, and if they deport me, that will cause me a lot of sadness. My granddaughters are 15 and 17. My biggest worry is to be taken away from them and from the rest of my family. I was very happy with the announcement of President Obama, the executive order, and that it will be implemented and it will take us out of the shadows that we live in, and it will benefit 5 million people without documents. It will help me to live without the fear that I have today. Today we're here to say we are ready to apply to this program. We are ready to ask for a work permit, and we are ready to work with dignity and respect. We are already supporting the economy of this country. We have been working very strong and hard, and we are ready to continue to support and contribute in this country with peace and with our families. We are tired of all the blocks in the road that they're putting against our community. But we know that at the end, we will accomplish our goal, and we're gonna continue to fight. Myself and thousands of people, we are getting ready for the executive action, and in Make the Road, New York, we're also getting people ready so that they are ready when this program is released to apply. And we are going to do this while we continue to fight for immigration reform. Thank you.
All right.
So those were the words of Magdalena Brito, and I want to take this opportunity to thank Maribel from Action NYC, who's also here today. Action NYC is a program that's helping community members with legal advice to whether they can qualify for DAPA and how they should get ready, or if they qualify for another visa or another relief, and helping them out. And it's a program of the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs. So thank you for that. And I want to call to the mic the Deputy Borough of the President, Reyna, who has also been helping a lot in this program in the exhibit today. So please give her a big applause.
All right.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Mi nombre es Diana Reyna. Soy la vicepresidenta de Brooklyn, trabajando lado a lado al presidente Eric L. Adams. Estamos aquí este día por ustedes, por las caras que ustedes están representando, familias que están impactadas. My name is Diana Reyna, and I'm the Deputy Borough President walking this journey to represent 2.6 million people in Brooklyn along the side of our Borough President Eric L. Adams. I am honored to be here with you today. I work with the Brooklyn Borough President in making sure that 2.6 million Brooklynites have a voice, and that includes our immigrants, undocumented and documented. A strong representations of friends that come to Borough Hall are here today with us, representing those faces who may not have a voice or who think have no voice. We are all tired of the threat to millions of families hovering over children and parents because our federal legislators refuse to fix our broken immigration system. Doing nothing is not an option. Echoing those sentiments, President Obama announced that he would use his executive authority to protect millions of immigrants from the threat of being deported. And so Texas and 25 other states, mostly controlled by Republican governors who supposedly represent a party who believe in the family unit and yet do not believe in the family unit of immigrants, went to court to block its implementation. I am a proud Latina. My first generation journey started in the south side of Williamsburg, not very far from here, growing up with immigrant parents, immigrant friends, immigrant neighbors, immigrant parishioners, immigrant business owners who, like many of you, take care of families while working endlessly and tirelessly. I stand here today as an exhibit of their tireless work. Immigrants make the United States and New York City great. 81% of those eligible for DAPA have lived in the United States for more than 10 years. 94% of DAPA eligible in the labor force are employed, contributing to this country. And yet we put the face of them being a burden on states. Nothing but the contrary. 89% of DAPA eligible are parents of U.S. citizens like me. Comprehensive immigration reform will bring millions out of the shadows, help families as well as the best and brightest doctors, engineers, entertainers, and entrepreneurs stay in the U.S. This summer, the split Supreme Court, our Supreme Court, will be issuing a ruling on DAPA and DACA. We're here today calling on our Supreme Court to lift that threat of deportation, hovering over millions of undocumented immigrants living and working in the United States. The symbol that represents our great nation is the Statue of Liberty, not an ICE official or jacket. Engraved on Lady Liberty, a quote from Emma Lazarus echoes, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. These are the faces breathing free air in the United States of America." We are urging the Supreme Court to bring light and not darkness to these faces. I'd like to express the sentiment of Gerardo Aguilar, raising the faces of the men that are equally represented in Gerardo Aguilar. Gerardo is originally from Puebla, Mexico, and came to the United States in 1992. He has a child that is a U.S. citizen. With DAPA, I can have a stable job. I would be able to go visit my family in my country and meet for the first time my wife's family that lives in Puerto Rico. And most importantly, I can walk in this country without fear. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Diana Reyna. And now I want to thank Congresswoman Nydia Velasquez, staffer Dan Wiley for being here and joining us. Thank you so much. And I want to call to the mic another supporter of immigrant rights, another Brooklynite, also a local community member who got elected into office and is now supporting all of our issues. And so I want to call to the mic Council Member Antonio Reynoso. Please give him an applause.
Thank you so much, and again, welcome to Brooklyn. I want to say that the city of New York is the most, is the most immigrant-friendly city in the United States of America. And because of our great Borough President Eric L. Adams, who is going to pick up a paper because he's an amazing person. Because of our great Borough President Eric Adams, Brooklyn is now the most immigrant-friendly borough in the city of New York. And absolutely. So I want to thank our Borough President for the work that he's done here, and our Deputy Borough President, Reyna, for the work that they've done to make sure that our folks know that we have their back when it comes to DACA and DAPA and ensuring that the Supreme Court makes the right decision. I also want to thank Make the Road New York. I was just talking to Councilmember Carlos Menchaca, and we talked about 10 years ago, the people that are coming up to the stage or the people behind you wouldn't be here speaking on how important these issues are to them. And it's an organization like Make the Road that allows them to come up and let you know their stories, humanizes the faces that we see on paper. And I am grateful for the work that Make the Road New York is doing in making that happen. Now I'm going to read a testimony from Catalina Benitez. Catalina is originally from Puebla, Mexico. Catalina has two kids who are U.S. citizens, one of them who has Down syndrome. Separating any parent from their children would be a very destructive thing to a family and something that many of us don't even think about or would never even imagine. Especially for her, one of her children has Down syndrome and needs a lot of attention, a lot of help. And she's providing that at this moment. But she writes, "My kids are my life, and I don't want to be separated from them. DAPA would give me the relief from fear of deportation and allow me to take care of my children." Imagine what those children would go to, the support that they need, and what she's currently going through in this insecure state. Let's make America the greatest immigrant country in the entire world so that we can follow the lead of New York City, and especially our Borough President Eric Adams, and here in Brooklyn. Muchas gracias. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Antonio Reynoso. And for the folks who are here, for the press, I also want to highlight that if you look in the banner, there is an Instagram icon, and below it says DAPA DACA NY. If you go to Instagram, you'll be able to actually hear testimonies directly from community members. We have been putting them up, and we can still put up, and we are going to make that Instagram account an interactive platform where we're going to be interacting with more community members. We're going to be working with a high school here in Brooklyn, highlighting other community members from Brooklyn and young people and how this affects them or their classmates or their friends. And the idea is that for the whole month, this Instagram account is going to be interactive, and so you can continue to learn about these families and the stories. And I now want to call to the mic one of the most amazing humans that I've encountered in my time organizing. He is an undocumented student who also helped us put together this amazing exhibit, and who is day in and out fighting, and he has so many years of experience organizing, but he's so young. And it's my pleasure to call to the mic Antonio. Please give him a big applause.
What a name.
So today, hi, my name is Antonio. I am an immigrant youth as well. I am a DACA recipient, so I know what is the privilege to have DACA and what it will be a privilege for those families who will qualify for DAPA and DACA Plus. As I was writing the stories of the families, I was thinking about my mother, I was thinking about my father, who went through the same struggle. But unfortunately, they're not here today to see this exhibition and the stories of other family members who are here today. So I don't know what else to say. I think we have demonstrated that we contribute to this country, not only with our stories, but also like economically. In 2012, I was able to obtain DACA, and since then I have been paying taxes. I have been contributing to this nation that I call my home. And it's the same for these families who have been here for 10 years, some of them for 20 years, and they don't receive any benefit from the government. I think DAPA will allow them to come out of the shadows and just live without the fear of deportation and being separated from the families. My job, as many other organizations in here, is to fight for DAPA and an immigration reform that nobody else can go through the same struggle that I went through from being separated from our families. So I also want to thank everyone in here, especially the elected officials, because it only highlights that we made America great. So thank you, everyone.
Gracias, Antonio, y gracias a todas las personas que están aquí. Ya vamos a estar cerrando, pero entonces yo quiero cerrar como con un chant, con una forma energética de hacer que todos participemos. Para nuestros miembros de la comunidad, muchas gracias por estar aquí, por apoyar, por ser valientes y contar sus historias y mostrar sus caras. Cuando termine de decir lo que voy a decir en inglés, yo voy a decir DAPA y yo quiero que ustedes contesten now, que quiere decir ahora, ¿sí? So, I was thanking the community members for being here, for being brave, for showing their faces, for sharing their stories with us. And of course, thank you to all the elected officials, to Brooklyn President Eric Adams, and everyone who made this possible. I want to end with a chant, and so what we're gonna do is that when I say DAPA, you say now. Got it?
Yes.
All right, so ready? Let's do this. DAPA?
Now!
DAPA?
Now!
DAPA?
Now!
Thank you.
All right, good job.
¿Quién más?